Okay, YouTube, so I've got my little patch here and my earlier patch here. That whole mess is coming off, and I'm going to rebuild this down here with another patch or two. I'm going to try to get it in one piece. We'll see how it goes. The steel I have is quite a bit thicker, and the reason I was blowing through this, all these holes, not because it's rusted on the back, but because it's way too thin. So that's all coming out, and I'm going to do it over like Anthony suggested. So because I can't just be sitting here fretting about this while he's working on his Rambler, I got to get the Nova going. So this is another intermediate step video. I made a craft paper template of the good side, the driver's side, and some back and forth between here and there. This actually goes in here like this. So that's craft paper, yep. So now I'm going to see how it fits with a cardboard template, because that's going to be more like the steel that I'm going to be cutting. And can you see that? Yeah, get your fat knee out of the way. So that's got to go like that, and that's going to be, so actually that looks pretty damn good. Excuse me. So I have my relief cuts in there, and the way I figured out my relief cuts, so say I jammed this craft paper in there and it came up with a crease, I'm exaggerating, but came up with a crease like that. What I do, of course, I cut out all the material that is represented by that overlap. So I would do a cut from here. See where the fold goes over? I cut that out. Wherever there's overlap material, I cut it out. So from this crease to all the way over here where there's overlap, cut that out. So that's where these came from. This is like version 2, and this was the stiffer material. Figured that that's a pretty good analog for the sheet metal. So after this test fit, which was my first one from cutting this out, it seemed pretty good. I will have to work this bend in to get around this gradual curve. Well, not that gradual, but you know, the inside of the wheel well. So on to that. Okay, template converted over to shiny metal. Now we'll do some bendy bends and do the very laborious work of making this fit in the hole under there. So now what I'm doing, I've got my vise spaced open a bit. I'm taking the patch that I'm trying to contour. I've got to get a gentle curve in there with a, you know, well, I guess it's not so gentle, but I'm using this bolt as a dolly of sorts, putting it in the gap and pounding it down through. Trying to make sure that everything is all parallel. My gap, my panel, my bolt, and make sure that that curve is parallel. Although, as you can see from the relief cut, there will be a bend in here, but I want to deal with one curve at a time. Alright, after a bunch of shaping, I have my patch in. it's not welded in. I've got the clamps holding it. So what I'm going to do next is to grab the quarter panel and put it on here, let you guys stay where you are, and we'll see what the fitment is like. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I've got the quarter panel on, fitted everywhere else except here, so I haven't tried to make this fit at all yet. So let's see what we got. This tab could be, well, no. Holy shit. No freaking way. Alright, YouTube. Let's see if Ruben's learned anything. Look at that. Tight all up top. The quarter panel is snug down at the bottom. And look at that, it's just, the patch is not moving. Let me take the quarter panel off, do another look. Alright, so the patch fits its home where it's supposed to go, all nice and tight. Fits along this profile, fits for the depth, fits along the edge. One piece. It's the same metal as the quarter panel because I cut it from the excess. Very much relieved. So this takes my frustration from yesterday and just out of the park, man. Out of the park. So, Anthony, you gave me an A for effort on the previous patch and said just cut it all out, start over again. I cut it out, started over with appropriate metal, took my time, took a lot of time to shape it and match the curve. I took templates off the other side, like I said, turned it inside out, transferred it over to here. And I am so freaking pleased. I am so happy. I haven't welded it in yet. I will do that next once I'm certain of the fit, and I mean most of the surface has been ground. I need to do a little bit more because the patch is a little bigger than I expected it to be. But holy crap. Nailed that one. Nailed it. Now let's just see if I can weld it in without messing it up. Think I will. It reminds me, I have to switch the welder from flux core to gas over to MIG. So, awesome. Be back in a minute. Kinda ugly, but I didn't blow through on the edges. Just tried to get some wire on there. And, well, it's in there. I didn't blow any holes. So, and I don't know if you can see around the back. Yeah, probably not. But I got some decent penetration. I could see it coming through the other side on the factory original metal. So yeah, not pretty. I mean, I could probably grind that down, but it's going to be hard to get my grinder in here, so I just may go. But look at that. That is in there. So, yep. Much better than yesterday. So, yep, getting there. Woohoo!